Hi, everybody. This is Leslie Likens with CXPA. I am very excited to kick off this call today. We have some phenomenal companies on the line with us that will be sharing what they have planned for this year's 2017 Customer Experience Day. So before we get started, I just wanted to remind all of you that this call will be recorded today. And so we'll be able to go back, and if you missed something, you can always go back and check out the recording as well, as some of these slides that our CXPA members are going to be sharing regarding what their company is doing. So we are very excited. As a reminder, if you don't already have it on your calendar, Customer Experience Day is scheduled for Tuesday, October 3rd this year, and this is our 5th annual celebration. So pretty exciting that we have the opportunity to celebrate this 5 years in a row. So I am, without further ado, I'd like to get us kicked off. Again, this is Leslie Likens with CXPA. We are going to hear from 4 companies today that are going to share what they have planned for Customer Experience Day to celebrate great customer experience and the people that make it happen. They're going to share their plans with you, but I also encourage you to go ahead and chat in with any questions that you have. And in addition to questions, if your company has already started making plans for Customer Experience Day for celebration internally, I would also encourage you to share that through the question feature as well, so that after these 4 companies share, I can go back and pull some of those ideas and suggestions. I'll also show you towards the end of the call today where you can find the button on our CXPA website so that you can submit those to us and we can list your company as a company celebrating Customer Experience Day as well. Just before we get kicked off with Allison Circle from the Columbus Metropolitan Library, I do want to point out a really important website for all of you as we get started here. That website is cxday.org. If you haven't already been there, there are some great resources. In particular, we're looking at the company celebration page. So the companies that are sharing today and your company as well can be listed here on this page with some of the ways. And we'll look at that page here shortly as well. All right, without further ado, I want to introduce Allison Circle, who is a CXP member, and she is the Chief Customer Officer at the Columbus Metropolitan Library. And so Allison, do you want to tell us a bit about what your plans are for celebrating Customer Experience Day?
Yes, thanks, Leslie, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm only going to be able to be here for a little while, so you can be jealous because I'm going to be talking about employee handbook policies. So you could be thinking of me while I'm doing that. But I'm excited to talk about what we're doing for the first time ever. We are celebrating Customer Experience Day, Customer Day at our library. And in the past, I've always struggled how to make that connection for our staff. But over the past year, I've been doing all sorts of trainings for our staff around what CX is. We've read Outside In, we've read The Effortless Experience, we've done empathy mapping, journey mapping, and so my staff now is in a position in which they kind of get this concept. Seems an easy concept to get, but it requires some background. So we are at that point, and we're capping it off with celebrating Customer Experience Day, CX Day, on October 3rd. And what we're going to do is a multi-layered approach to these assets we're going to be creating out of CXJ. First off, our goal is to share the story of how our customers use our libraries. We hear repeatedly, oh my gosh, I didn't know you did that, and we've really moved beyond the kind of the cultural iconography that we have about what libraries are. And so how do we capture that for our community and for our funders and so forth? So we are going to have on October 3rd, starting when we open our doors and to the end of the day, all day long, we are going to be having our staff take photos of how our customers use our libraries. We have privacy issues, but when we have events like this, we put up signs saying, by being here today, you agree to have your picture taken. So we're going to collect all these images, sort of like the ones, this is actually a staff taken photo that I'm showing here of girls using our Homework Help Center. So how do people use our facility throughout the day? And then we're going to knit those together into a video that we're going to show at a fundraiser. I just got the concept for the copy, which is actually called Today. And it's today is the day that people have come in to get a better life. Today's the day the student has come in to do better in school, those kinds of things, a very heartfelt, emotional message. The other thing we're going to do with all these photos that we now have is we have an affinity group, our friends at the library. We're going to engage them and have them take all of the photos that we have collected and distill them down to a set number. Maybe it's 25, maybe it's 50. And then we're going to post those images on our Facebook page and our other social media and ask the public to vote on the top vote getter. Once we get that, we have a gallery space here at the library, and we're going to mount all those photos and then have those winning photos and do a contest or an event, a moment where we reveal which photo was the most, the top vote getter, so number one. So those are all the ways we're going to take those assets in order of celebrating and engaging our own staff in what it means to be a participant as we watch CX Day go around the globe. That's what we're doing.
Hey, Allison, is this the first year that Columbus Metropolitan Library has done something this significant for CX Day?
Yes, we haven't done anything on CX Day before, again, because we needed to lay this groundwork as we've really brought in a curriculum with all of our staff around what CX means as we rolled out our customer first philosophy. This is kind of that, that punctuation point of that entire curriculum.
What do you think your employees are most excited about when it comes to this celebration?
Being a part of this multifaceted execution, because first off, they're passionate about what they do, and it's an opportunity for them to participate in something beyond their day-to-day to capture what they see every day, and then to be able to take that and carry it through. I've already written the script for our CEO as we share this video, which hasn't been created yet, but to say our employees created this video for you, our funders, because they want you to understand the work that we do in creating a customer experience in this library organization.
Awesome. So exciting. All right, well, we're going to watch for photos.
Yep, and for the video, when we got it all together, I'll share that with everyone.
Oh, thank you, Allison. That is really awesome. And again, Allison has to depart early today, but if you have questions for her, feel free to send them in, and we'll get them over to her and make sure that you get those answers. But really exciting, and I am very, very much looking forward to seeing how it all pans out, Allison. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to go next to David Hintz, and David is with NCR. So, David, do I have you on the line?
Yes, I'm here, Leslie, and thank you very much for including NCR in this great venue, or this great event, and an opportunity to talk about company celebration. I think I'm going to show you quite a contrast to your previous caller, and I think that's just representative of the different types of CX days that are out there, you know, and being pushed within the different companies. And, you know, we're very excited. Like Columbus Library, this is our very first event, and it's a global event. It's not a local event. And we think the importance of this initiative is that it really is going to bring together our global team for a couple of hours on CX Day in the morning. And this is really going to help strengthen the employee engagement. Also, it's also an opportunity for us to reconfirm our commitment to not only to the program, but also to the customer. You're going to learn a little bit more in this presentation what I mean by that point. And I think most of all, even those two previous points are very important. I think most of all, we're trying to inspire our employees to take our program to the next level. So those are the 3 reasons why we think our CX Day is important to NCR. But before we go on to the next, or go ahead, that's fine. So I'm going to share a little bit about TNT in the front end of this deck, and then we'll get into the details around CX Day. Can you, I don't know, Leslie, I only see 4 of the 5. Can you shrink that a little bit? The screen is excluding my division.
Oh, no.
No. Okay. Well, hopefully people on the call see a little different version of the screen than what I see, but essentially what this screen represents is we have 5 major divisions in TNT, and every single one of these divisions have CAN leaders like myself who are advocates for the CX program. So we have an infrastructure in place across the entire organization. The LT is extremely focused on the development of this program, not only in TNT but across the board. And but today I'm focusing on the TNT CX Day event. So continue. Go on to the next slide, Leslie. So where TNT fits in to NCR is that we are aspiring to be strategic partners to global service providers and telecom OEMs in every major theater around the globe. As you can see on the left-hand side, we do field services, we have remote services, we do professional services in various technical domains and specialization, starting with enterprise networking on the far left-hand side all the way across to a telecom storefront offer. And the key to our success is that we are representing our customers' brand out there. So you can imagine how important CX is to our business as well as to our customers. Next slide. So, so like many on the phone here today, you know, and we were joking about it earlier, Leslie, that the CX journey it's going to be different and unique to every company. But in the grand scheme of things, on the long arc of CX Day or your CX program, it generally starts kind of like this chart. You start at a point where you're doing pretty good, maybe you're doing acceptable levels, but over time, as you focus in from the top down, bottom up, you reach a point where you are now reaching world-class status, and we're very proud of the fact that we're at that point in our journey. We're actually delivering world-class experiences to our customers. And let me show you what that means. So if you click on and show us the rest of this slide, that would be helpful there, Leslie. Yeah, so what did that journey, how's that journey transpired over the last couple of years? Well, it starts with strong leadership. Our leadership is extremely focused on designing an organization that delivers on our promise to our customers. It's about having a marketing team that is focused on developing the portfolio, so we're bringing forth innovative services. We have a phenomenal operational team, making sure that, in our case, that we are meeting our customers' SLA. And what has added to our journey is now that we have a very robust CX program that once started in a very silo reactive mode, which is very common among all CX programs, and now we're integrated as part of our DNA, and we're getting to a point where we're being very proactive in working with our customers. So please go to the next slide. So now we're going to get into more about the actual CX Day event. So a big part of our success across that journey, as well as what we do on an ongoing basis, is we have a CX commitment, sometimes referred to as a promise in a lot of companies. And we're focused in on around innovation, quality, speed, and ease of doing business. This slide here has a dual purpose. It both focuses our priorities and investments internally, but it also obviously filters out and impacts our customer in the way they expect. They expect these 4 levers to be spot on with them so that we deliver on their brand promise. Next slide. So this CX Day is a half-day event. We're hoping that it connects our employees across the globe. It is inspiring. We anticipate inspiring. So we have a lot of we have what we call a customer fireside chat. We're bringing in we're bringing into the conversation input from our consulting firm Walker. They've been phenomenal in helping us out with this. And so there's an opportunity to educate and expand our horizons around the CX program. We're going to have a panel discussion, and I'll show you a slide after this a little bit what that panel discussion is all about. But it's about elevating what each part of our organization is doing to enhance the customer experience in their space. And you can see to the left-hand side and the right-hand side some of the things that we're doing to integrate the audience into the actual CX Day event. So you have a thank you letter on the left-hand side. So periodically throughout the CX Day event, we're going to pause to one of these distant lands, distant locations, London, Singapore, Mexico City, Serbia, and India. And our team there are celebrating, with balloons and food, and they're going to be prepared to send this thank you note to all of their customers that they interact with on a daily basis. And they're also going to do some fun things. So, like in Mexico City, they're going to serve tacos, and they're going to spell out taco they're going to use tacos to spell out CX. And so each region is going to do something interesting and fun that's representative of their part of the world. And also on the right-hand side, we're looking for our employees that are supporting TNT to submit an opportunity to win some what we call recognition points, showcasing some of the work they're doing to enhance the customer experience. And we're also taking this opportunity while we have all hands on deck to share with us what they think, what are folks out in the field thinking we can do to enhance the customer experience. And we're not limiting this to just customer-facing employees. We all know that there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that one step removed from improving the customer experience. So it's a very, it's global in nature. It's interacting with leadership at the top of this organization. It's educating, and we hope, most of all, it's inspiring and pulling our employees together. Next slide. So what's filtered out through all of the entire CX Day is we're focused in on how we're improving and how we need to improve and what our customers are expecting around the relationship experience. How do we go about delivering the right solutions and the right services so that we meet their customers' needs and represent their brand. We're about, the buying experience, which we're including the onboarding and, some of that block and tackle type of stuff. And then finally, on the far right hand, there's the life cycle management. There's the ensuring that our customers are going to want to stay with us as we move forward. And all this should lead to, as you see at the bottom, to business outcomes. So this is all, that's, I think, a big part of what CX ought to be. Is not just developing those experiences, but making sure that as we develop those experiences within the different parts of our organization, that they drive business outcomes to our customers. Last slide. Oh, I'm sorry, I got two more. That's right. So a big part of, and it's kind of great timing, every year or in front of every one of our surveys, we have a very high-touch approach in closing the loop with our customer. And on the left-hand side here, you can see just samples of slides from our what we call our Proactive CX Communication Package. Now, I'm fortunate. I'm in an organization where we have dedicated account managers who work with these global customers on a daily basis. And so we require our account managers, our SMO community, account support managers essentially, deliver this communication package at least twice a year in front of every survey. And it basically thanks them for taking this previous survey, reminding them that we have another survey headed their way, which our next one is in October. But more importantly, we're sharing with them the investments we've made since the last survey and the progress we're making to enhance the customer experience. And this is very well accepted among our sales and account managers and service managers, but also the customer, more importantly. These are the things that you need to do as a CX leader to ensure that customers are well aware of what we're doing to improve the experience. And what I'm really excited about this year on the right-hand side is we're now introducing video clips, clips into the presentation, and so that will probably be a new standard for us going forward. One more, I think there's one more slide. Yeah, and finally, you know, we've come a long way in our CX program, and we're very proud that we've got that stamp of approval from Walker that we have elevated our game from being a very good company to work with to an exceptional world-class company. So that's what I have to offer today. So I'm anxious to get some questions.
Hey, David. So I found it really interesting how this is the NCR's first year to really celebrate the Customer Experience Day as a company, and same with Allison. And both of you kind of spoke to, you know, ramping up the kind of the maturity of the whole organization before you started to dive into the CX Day planning and to really make a large splash with Customer Experience Day. Can you give us a little bit more of an idea of, you know, how were you able to gain traction for this level of celebration on Customer Experience Day? What were some of the challenges that you faced on that?
Well, I think I'm very, very fortunate because my VP and General Manager of the Telecom and Technology Division, Sophia Williams, is a huge advocate, like all the other leaders inside NCR, a huge advocate. And that not only that she's not the only one that has that point of view. We've got great sales leaders, service leaders throughout this organization. So that really wasn't a challenge. I think the challenge that we're having in our first year is that you can blame me for this, but I kind of started a little late. I now know that probably this, for my particular organization, this is more like a 3-month process versus a 2-month process. And so I'm very fortunate that I have folks like Leslie Lindler and Aaron McKenzie, who are on the marketing communication side of the house, are helping me tremendously in getting this going. And then I have regional coordinators. Because this has become so much part of our DNA, I think it was only natural in a way that this would eventually happen. So not that it was required a lot of selling. I just wish I'd given my extended team more time, and so you know they're pushing hard to help me deliver an extremely inspiring and exciting CX Day.
That's good to hear, David. How large is when you say team and your team is working to pull this all together, what's that team look like size-wise?
Well, my immediate support team is consisting of the entire leadership team because they all have, and I didn't go through the agenda in great detail, but they're all supporting me and because they're contributing. We have the panel, we have customer interviews globally that our VPs are going out and talking to customers. We're videotaping that and bringing it in. I've got coordinators in every region that I'm meeting on a weekly basis, keeping them informed of all the little changes and all the nuances. There's technology. We have to, 2 weeks in front of this live cast, we've got to go through, have a kind of a technical run-through, because there are a little bit of challenges on the technical side, but they're not major. We just have to be well coordinated. In communication, you know, you can't communicate enough with your coordinators, with your leadership team, because, you know, this is not just TNT leadership. We have NCR leadership involved. And by the way, you know, the room is already exploding for this very first event. We're going to have to limit the number of people who can actually attend here at headquarters in Duluth. How
exciting. Wow, well, congratulations on pulling all of this together. And I know it's a lot of moving pieces here as we get closer and closer to CX Day. But David, thank you so much for sharing that. And we're also looking forward to seeing what comes out of the celebration at NCR this year as well. So thanks again. And we're gonna move over to Greg next. And so Greg is with Dell. Greg, are you on the line?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. I can hear you twice, so we'll see if that goes away.
Oh no.
But we'll give it another second here, and we'll see if we can make that better. So, Greg, Dell has celebrated Customer Experience Day to the extreme, is maybe how I would categorize it. But it is so much fun to watch online. On Twitter, especially, all of your employees worldwide just celebrating customer experience on that first Tuesday of October. Do you want to give us a little bit of background about why this is so important to Dell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope the audio is improved. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, we still definitely get you as a double audio. Do you want to try dialing back in, Greg, and then we'll switch over to Marissa and come back to you?
Yes, let's do that.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, all right. We will we'll switch over to Marissa and come back to Greg here shortly with Dell, because I know everybody on the line is very anxious to hear what you guys have in store this year, knowing that in the past it's involved celebrities and very large and fun celebrations. So Marissa, do I have you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. And so Marissa Balfort is with Microsoft, and this is not Microsoft's first year to celebrate Customer Experience Day. Is that right, Marissa?
That's right. I think it's the third year that we have been celebrating.
I think so too. So I am going to make Marissa the presenter here, because she has some live online pieces that she wants to show all of you as part of the of what they're doing for Customer Experience Day. So just bear with us 1 second.
You were going to share my slides first, right? And then I'll do the demo.
I've got those. So we'll do those, and then I'll switch it over to your screen.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So Marissa, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you guys have planned, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Let's move to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys can see all the text if you minimize the little window, the chat window. So at Microsoft, we're really excited about the upcoming CX Day celebration. So we use this date as an excuse to celebrate our customers and to remind all employees to be customer advocates. So here at Corp, we will have a couple of events happening. First of all, we will have a breakfast for CX practitioners and leaders, where we will be able to share their plans and the progress towards CX work and possible ways to collaborate amongst each other. Also, a few of us will attend the CXPA event that is going to be happening here in Bellevue, Washington. And we will be able to meet other CX colleagues from several local companies. And Amanda Sachs, our general manager, our CX general manager, will represent Microsoft by participating as a speaker and a panelist. So I hope to see some of you folks in there. So on the third line, so this year we're asking people to focus on a couple of things, a couple of main things, is personal development and peer recognition. So about personal development, we are asking people or recommending to attend a local CXPA event. We know that there are not events in every single city, but I know that as the event gets closer, we're going to have more. But this is a great opportunity to find a mentor, a potential mentor from the CX industry outside of Microsoft, to learn more on how they manage CX. So if people cannot attend one of these in-person events, we're encouraging them to attend a webinar from CXPA. And I know that throughout the day, there are going to be more webinars that are going to be offered. So the most exciting part that I want to share with you is the Pay It Forward Chain Challenge. So as previously mentioned, we want to focus in peer recognition. And for that, we collaborate with HR to incorporate a customer advocate category or badge to recognize customer-obsessed behaviors. While there are other categories to recognize our peers, we want to make a big splash about the customer advocate one. So I want to show you guys how it works, and I will share my desktop for a quick demo in a little bit. So could you change to the next slide, please? Okay, so the main objectives of this Pay It Forward Kudos tool, it's an app, right? So first of all, we want to celebrate the International CX Day and make a cultural well, we call it here CP, Customer and Partner Experience, but a great culture moment. We also want to recognize behaviors amongst peers, and we want to build a paid-forward chain. So what this means is that you send a kudos to someone, and that someone will send a kudos to someone else, and so on and so forth. And we also want to make awareness, bring awareness that being customer obsessed is everyone's job in the company. So actually, if you don't mind moving to let's do the demo now, Leslie, if that's okay with you.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so everyone just give us 1 second as we switch over the presentation to Marissa here.
And let me know when you can see my screen.
Okay, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. So this is a demo of how the tool works. So for example here, I type the name of my colleague. It's a little bit slow this morning.
You must know that you're presenting it to everybody, Marissa.
Isn't that right? Wow.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's hit refresh. I had it open for a while, so maybe that's why. Okay, here we go. So I click plus. Okay, here it is. I select him, and as you can see here, different categories, but I want to focus your attention on this one, put customers' needs first, went above and beyond to improve their experience, right? So then I select this one, and then I put, I don't know, just randomly, right? Whatever. He's going to go like, what is this? So you can also record an audio if you want to make it private. I'm going to skip that part. And then, voila, I'm just going to send it. And how they're going to see it is like this. So for example, they're going to see he is going to receive the kudos, and his or her manager is going to receive the copy of this as well. But then they're going to be prompted to open the application, which is going to make them see the message that I send out, and that will encourage them to send another kudos also. So if you could see this, our Power BI, which is a Microsoft tool, we're going to be able to see how many kudos were sent by whom, and also the type of messages that were sent out. So if you don't mind putting me back to the slide number 5, Leslie, please.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that looks really exciting.
Yes, it's really cool, and we're using, the Microsoft technology as well. which is super empowering. Okay, so here we are. Let's go to slide number 5. So what we want to do is a contest. We want to give prizes to people that are the top senders and the top nominators. But by the same token, in the local engagement section, we're encouraging subs to make activities on October 3rd and kick off the contest, send out communications, and all this good stuff. But they can also make their own contest over there, perhaps the most creative I don't know, message, or the top sender or the top receiver in India, or in particular subsidiaries or countries, so they can, leverage the data that we will provide through Power BI. So the stories, I will be able to capture some good stories and post it in our Customer Obsessed at Microsoft Yammer group that a lot of people at Microsoft, across Microsoft, have access to, and they will receive a notification. I'm sure you're aware of our Yammer product. It's like a Facebook, but for business. So we have a group focused on Customer Obsessed at Microsoft. So that's it for me. Those are the plans that we have here at Microsoft, and this campaign, the Pay It Forward chain, will go throughout the month of October.
Oh, that's great. So you're extending it for the whole month. That's really cool.
Yes.
Marissa, how have you seen Microsoft kind of advance with Customer Experience Day year over year? I mean, you guys have celebrated now a couple of years. How have you seen that that grow and change?
So I've seen more engagement constantly, and now, at Corp, we're trying to reach more communities within Microsoft that do some sort of CX work. For example, they gather insights, or they listen to customers, or they do programs to improve the customer experience. So with this way, we're going to win more traction within the company, and this is going to help us out to celebrate even more and bring awareness to the company, to a lot of employees in the company.
That's exciting. What's your favorite part of Customer Experience Day?
I think my favorite part this year around is to be able to leverage the technology that already exists, right? The Kudos app, I mean, HR was working on it, and it comes from a dashboard for employees, but to be able to work with HR to focus and to emphasize on customer advocate, I think that was major, and to bring awareness to everyone. And also the Power BI piece, where we can see, statistics and how many people sent out and what were the messages. I think that's the most exciting part for me.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this incredible work you guys have put into it, and looking forward to hearing about the kudos and how many are sent. I can imagine it's going to be a lot. So
yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to
really
be
awesome.
super cool, and I'll share with you guys the outcome of this campaign.
Very cool. Okay, all right. So Greg, I'm going to try to pull you back in here. Let's see if we can hear from you again. Are you there?
Yes, is this better?
Slightly.
No?
We get a double portion.
I don't know if it matters if I walk away from my PC. I don't understand why I'm duplicate.
That might be better. All right, yeah, that definitely sounds better. Hopefully you've got those 2 slides down. Okay. So what about Dell, Greg? What does Dell have in store for customer experience this year?
All right, sorry. I'm going to wing it here. So first off, appreciate the time. Is this helping? There we go. Okay. First off, I appreciate hearing what all the other teams are doing, and it's definitely inspiring when you look at the engagement opportunities and the integration and leveraging of apps and technology and rewards and recognition. And here at Dell Technologies, we're definitely leveraging and utilizing a lot of the same theologies. So for us, we're in a really fun and unique time period with the integration, and with EMC, we're now 138,000 team members globally. And Customer Experience Day, I would argue, is every day, right? But this is a chance for us to unify across the globe with our commitment to our customers' experience, and a chance to really recognize our team members, who are the heart and soul of that activation and those customers' experience every day. And when we looked at this year, we definitely have an opportunity to kind of up our game. This is the 4th year for EMC, Dell EMC collectively to participate in the CX Day celebrations. And, and we look to expand not only our footprint globally, so more physical activations and celebrations, but more importantly, how do we engage all 138,000 team members across the globe? And thus, that's where the power of the intranet, the power of the video content, the power of, I love the rewards and recognition, crowdsourcing, sharing your stories. So we're enabling an intranet portal and opportunities for people to go and engage. So, how can every team member around the world be a part of the celebration, whether it's physical celebration or not? And so, as we've been working through our global plan, we will have celebrations that actually kick off literally in Brazil in 2 weeks, China on the 20th, and then a majority of the sites will be doing various flavors of celebration from the 2nd all the way through the 12th. And the core, though, what we've done at the core is ensure that every site, every celebration has the components from an inspire and an engage and an empower perspective. And we want to inspire our team members through, leadership, leadership stories. We'll have customers invited on site and sharing how every connection counts. And it's imperative that we win together across the entire Dell Technologies platform. We want to inspire through rewards and recognition, and we will be not only recognizing key team members throughout the world, but we will also be launching a Global CX Award as part of the CX celebration. So a lot of effort around just flat out, let's make sure we understand and recognize the importance of customer centricity and that the people are really, make the real difference. From an engagement perspective, we do a myriad of things. On site, we really like to spotlight the efforts that are happening at those local locations, whether it's improvements on the website or improvements in customer service or policy or process. We really try to give each site their local opportunity to celebrate their people and what are they working on, to improve the customer's experience. And then a big focus this year has been around empowerment and how can you make a difference? How can we help you make a difference? And the largest investment we've made is we are rolling out our first team member app. It's a customer experience app. And what we're doing is empowering 138,000 team members around the globe to be able to help a customer anywhere, anytime. So, the most simplest use case is we all represent our companies and people know it's in the community. And just like what happened to me last night, I went to a restaurant. I ran into an old friend, and he's a buyer, actually, for the state of Texas. And he said, "Hey, what's going on with your order status website? It's not loading." And with this new app, we'll be able to, I'll be able to immediately connect him in touch with our Help a Customer organization. So we're excited about being able to empower our team members with the tools to difference with our customers. And as well, we're empowering them with the opportunity to go and reach out and engage with our customers through callback programs and through other mediums. So inspire, engage, and empower, and that thematic is going to go throughout, whether it's a cupcake party, whether you're work from home, or whether you're a part of Round Rock or Cairo or Hopkinton or Brazil, where we have much larger activations. And if you go to the slide, you can see this is a growing footprint of our physical locations. But once again, we're working very hard on how do we make sure that we can celebrate customer experience across our entire 138,000 team member base. So I will pause there because I'd rather take questions.
Greg, that's awesome. So it's always super exciting to hear what Dell has planned, because you always inevitably take it to the next level every year. But I'm worried that maybe somebody who's new to Customer Experience Day and you're trying to figure out how to bring this to your organization for the first time might feel a bit overwhelmed by listening to this and think, how do we even begin? And so I know that the Dell and before Dell EMC didn't start off on this gigantic, exciting celebration that you have planned this year. what are some of the important factors do you think that have contributed to being able to bring a celebration of this size with the new technology that you're introducing, the inspirational speakers, getting everyone from people who are working from home to people in your headquarters offices? What are some of the factors that are important to being able to pull that off?
Yeah, absolutely. And it starts with leadership, right? It starts with Michael, and in our case, 2 of our core 4 KPIs or metrics that we're held accountable to are rallied around Net Promoter Score. One is our employee Net Promoter Score, and the second is our customers. Then with Karen Quintos, who's our Chief Customer Officer, it starts there with the culture and the attitude, and the beliefs of the importance of advocacy. And then we've spent and invested quite a bit in the analytics side, right? So the heart and mind of why does CX matter, and directly correlating, the importance of leadership to our team members' satisfaction directly correlates to our customer satisfaction and overall revenue and pipeline. So I think there's been a lot of investment in just the value and ensuring everybody understands the value. You would think it's a no-brainer, right? Of course, customer centricity and advocacy matters, but sometimes you have to revisit and reassure. So I think first and foremost is making sure leadership is supportive and involved. And from there, really, it's about understanding what your team members value and ensuring that you bring an opportunity to celebrate in a unique way, across the world. And I think with that, then it becomes, as David mentioned, I think it's not a 2-month planning cycle. CX Days every day. And when you think about CX celebrations, it really should happen every day. And I think we have a chance here in a moment in time, though, to really reinforce that, and then once again to empower and enable our team members to do that, as part of their culture.
Hey, Greg, you have a question here. Mark has asked, how many people are working on this event? How much lead time is involved in planning something of this scale?
Yeah, and it's a great question. So, lead time, I'd say the good news is I would say if you're newer in it, like, you start somewhere, right? It's a building block. It's creating beachheads. It's having a strategy. It's building and building and building. So we're building off into our 4th year. It's a very big virtual team. And back to leadership, one of the first things I've done is ensuring that at Michael Dell's direct level, everybody's supportive, right? And then you basically start working with folks within their organizations at a site-by-site level. I'd say, that's building a network. And by establishing, once again, the fundamentals of what we want to achieve, you then empower those organizations to go do what makes sense. For Panama is going to be different for Beijing, etc. So that, to answer your question, is actually hard. There's actually a very small core group. There's probably 5 of us that are truly, I'd say, mostly dedicated to it globally, and then there's a broader extended team that runs around 20 to 30 people. And then we have a litany of folks that are owning things at a site level. So I think it is important you have a strategy, especially if you have a global footprint of what's the best way to go empower and enable a celebration, across the globe.
I'm going to open this question. I have a couple questions that have come in that I think are kind of in line together. I mean, we've heard from the 4 of you today some really incredible stuff that's happening. I know, David, at NCR, it's the first year that you've been able to bring this level of celebration to all of your employees. But to the 3 of you, I think Allison had to leave, but to the 3 of you, what helps you kind of get that buy-in across the company? If your customer experience isn't something that's fully ingrained into your organization's culture yet, for Marissa and for Greg, think back to the very first year you celebrated CX Day. What is the critical thing to help employees and leadership across the organization start to really get involved with CX Day? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well, in my case here at Microsoft, the challenge is not so much in CX Day. It's have employees to care more about what can we do to care more about our customers, right? And as our previous panelist was saying, it should be every day. So to me, really, I don't see it as a challenge for this day, but mostly for them to care. And I think we have been gaining more and more attention to it, and we have some statistics across different organizations within the company that employees think that we are a more customer obsessed company year over year.
Yeah, that's very true, Marissa. What about you guys? How do you maximize the energy that is that kind of just overwhelms everyone and excites everyone on CX Day? How do you maximize that and then carry that forward to the next month, the weeks, and the rest of the year?
This is great. I think it's a great question, right? And I think you're seeing in some of the things we're doing, whether it's the challenges or the awards or recognition, one of the things we're focusing heavy on is social amplification. So leveraging the hashtag CXDay and ensuring that that's at every single site and or virtually, enabled and encouraged. And we capture all the content. We're able to capture video, even iPhone or Samsung video, what have you. And we continue to pull that together and leverage it not only on the intranet site, but then we do work to package it up and enable our leaders to leverage it at town halls. And so it has a life that continues. And then we also, when we plan out, in our case, like a celebration like CX Day, we do always have an eye ahead to some of our next bigger either internal or external events, and that way you start to build a always-on thematic, and pieces and components will show up in your big sales seminar, which may be internal, or could show up at, say, Dell EMC World, which is external-facing, and I think that helps sustain some of the energy and excitement. And once again, back to localization, people love to celebrate and take a moment to be celebrated. So I think recognition's huge. And I think that empowering the sites to go do what makes sense for them is really hugely important.
All right, in the last couple of minutes here, and feel free, for those of you tuned in, if you want to continue to send some questions in through the chat box, that would be great. We'll continue to take those. If we don't get to your question on the call, we'll make sure we follow up with you. I am sharing the cxday.org website right now, so I did want to point out a few things here that could be helpful as you continue on planning your CX Day celebrations. Again, everything is held on the cxday.org site, and everything here is public and available to anyone. You do not need to be a CXPA member to take advantage of the site. If you are new to Customer Experience Day and this is your first day ever to celebrate, or first year to celebrate the day, there are some really outstanding things that happen across this website throughout the day that can help you bring certain elements to your organization. You might not be able to roll out something as large and grand as some of the ideas and ways that we heard today, but there are things that I've heard from smaller companies that have been beneficial in helping them take that celebration to their employees as well. So I wanted to point out just a couple of things here. The first one is this online events tab, which will very shortly, within the next day or two, turn over into a countdown to CX Day. And if you click on it now, you'll see that there's not a lot of information here for you, but we're hoping by middle of next week we'll have all of the details for the webinars and the panels and so forth that happen here online. Something different this year than from previous years is that we are really looking to offer more online live content in the week leading up to CX Day itself. So rather than trying to push 8 online 30-minute panels from various parts of the world all on October 3rd, we're actually going to spread those out and start on September 27th with a panel that's coming from Asia Pacific and working our way around the globe leading up to CX Day. So those panels will be listed here again by mid next week. Remember, everything that CXPA does on CX Day is planned and organized and coordinated by our CXPA members volunteering their time. And so I know those committees are hard at work right now, locking in those panelists throughout the world. Their topics have been identified, and I'm very excited to roll out this large number of panel discussions that will be happening leading up to the day itself. And those panels will always be recorded, and after they go live, they'll be here on the CX Day website so that you and your teams can come back and watch some of these panels that are interesting. So we have had smaller companies or companies that are in their first year of celebrating use one of those panel discussions or even the keynote webinar on CX Day as a lunch and learn, or a time for the team to come together, watch one of those recordings or live webinars together, and then have a conversation around what they heard and experienced. The other thing that I would point out to you is our local events. Again, these local events are planned and organized by members volunteering. We have 2 of them listed right now, but I know that there are at least 15 more that are just finalizing their details with respect to their location and their the content that will be presented that day. In the past, we've had around 25 cities worldwide have a local celebration. We expect that again this year as well. So keep coming back to the page and looking to see if there's a local celebration, like Marissa mentioned, the Seattle local networking celebration that they'll be attending. And then the company celebration page. This page, if you haven't already found it, will be critical to helping you brainstorm ideas around how you can celebrate. If you scroll down on the page, you will see quite a few companies that have celebrated Customer Experience Day this year and in the past. If you click on any one of those companies, it pops up what they did or what they have planned to do this year in celebration of the day. So you can find a lot of ideas here from various size companies and so forth. We encourage you, as you have your plans in place, to share them with us. If you just click here and submit those, we'll post your company and what you have planned here on the site as well. So please take advantage of this page. It will be very helpful. And the recording of today's call will also be available here on this company celebration page as well. And then finally, check out the resources page. Here we have t-shirts that you can order as an organization. They have a really clever back on them, so make sure you click this and take a look at the back, filled with customer experience statistics this year and numbers. So really awesome t-shirt. This front does not give it justice, trust me. And then down here there's logos, posters, banners, and so forth that you are welcome to use as well. So lots of different resources are available to you here through cxday.org. We are wrapping up here on our hour-long webinar, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in. We will continue to answer questions after the call today through email. So I will go ahead and make sure that our guests today will get your questions if we weren't able to answer it. And of course, if you have any questions between now and Customer Experience Day, feel free to reach out to our CXPA team. We are available at info, that is INFO, at cxpa.org. Again, please feel free to send those questions along, and we'll follow up with those of you who we weren't able to get to today. I want to say a special thank you to Allison, David, Marissa, and Greg. Thanks, you guys, for sharing your ideas, concepts, and the hard work that you're pouring into being able to bring that customer experience celebration to organizations. It's really, really inspiring, and I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the CXPA community. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you for a celebration on October 3rd worldwide. Thank you all.
Thanks, Leslie.